genuinely being whatever I was at the time, and not being prohibited because I wasn't being pigeonholed by anyone, you know. So, you know, I didn't really need to make that comparison. But there was a time for everything, and I understood that. Like, I wouldn't go to church and sing a Brandy song.
Right.
A Brandy song, you know.
Right.
Like, so I did have the proper understanding that there was a time for everything, and I operated accordingly.
Nice. So you actually sought your degree in performing arts when you went to school. Where'd you graduate from, by the way?
South Suburban College. That's where I actually got a degree in performing arts, and I was operating mostly, of course, I was there doing general education courses and stuff like that, but I was operating mostly in the field of music and theater. And that's something that that's actually a piece of information that I said that I wanted to. I have kind of committed myself to sharing more of myself with my audience, with my supporters, and that's one thing that I said that I was going to start to open up about as well. Just the parts of me that they might not have been able to see much of just by me being on The Voice or by me singing all the time that I have. They wouldn't know that I also acted and I also did the things that most people venture off into in the entertainment industry. So that's where I received that.
What would you say to like a high school student who's considering, what school to go to and what major they want to major in, and they know that they want to sing, but people are saying to them, well, you should just go ahead and get a degree in something else, though, just in case. So you have another type of education to fall back on besides, singing. What advice would you give to them in trying to make that decision for themselves?
Well, I mean, me being a person who stuck to my guns on what I wanted to do, I feel like I would definitely share with them that you have to. First of all, it depends on where they are in their mindsets. I feel like as a kid, as a young adult, when I was in my teen years, I had already made up my mind about what I wanted to do, and because of that, I was not easily swayed. The only way you usually when you're able to be easily swayed, it's because you have not yet fully decided on what it is that you want to do. Because for me, once I decide on what I want, once I decide on what I'm going to do, I stick to that, and it usually comes into fruition because that's how life works. So for the youth, for the children, I would definitely tell them that it's okay not to have everything figured out right now. Number one, you might at 16, 17, you might not feel like you absolutely know exactly what direction you're going to go in. And oftentimes so much pressure is being put on you to know right then because I'm getting ready to graduate high school to go to college. So there's this pressure. But my encouragement to them would be that if you don't know and you're not fully aware, it's okay. But if this is what you have decided on, if you know that this is what you want to do, you would do a disservice to yourself not to stick to your guns and do that. If you want to focus in on something, it needs to be what you genuinely want to do, because that is what's going to give you the strength to persevere throughout all of the trials and tribulations that come with pursuing it. Just your determination to get to where you're trying to go. But if you're not for certain that that's where you're going to go, you're easily swayed. So, my encouragement to them would be to gather the wherewithal, to say that this is what I'm going to do. And if you know that that's what you're going to do, set yourself up mentally. Set yourself up mentally to feed those ideas, to feed those things, to prepare yourself for where you see it. I always say, even right now today, when you know where you're going, you prepare yourself to get there. And so certain things that I may not do, like I have started getting, just certain things, whether it be dance lessons, different things. If I know that I foresee myself being on a stage where I'm performing before millions of people, and this is how I envision myself, if I'm not ready right now to do that, this is the time to prepare myself for where I'm going. Right. So I would encourage them in that area you have to keep your mind girded in the area of, hey, this is where I'm going. So I'm going to treat now as if that I understand that that's where I'm headed, and when you begin to do that, you strengthen yourself for when those naysayers come along that says, well, look, I quite frankly think that that's no success. That's not the American dream. Right. You need to be climbing the ladder. And I feel like I am the number one. I will stand right in on 2 flat feet and let you know that your success is determined by what you want to do. You are not successful if you go on to be a lawyer and you always wanted to rap.
Come on, Soraya.
You're not a success. You're not a success if what you want to do, you're not pursuing it. If you're allowing other people's idea of success to govern your actions or your mode of operation, you are not a success. And so that's what I preach, and I would definitely tell that. And that's what I actually do, tell the youth that I go before.
Well, the doors of the Church of Soraya are now open. Is there one?
Will there be one?
It's only about to send around a collection plate for a love offering.
Girl,
you just dropped all kinds of gems.
I mean, it's real like that, though. I mean, yes. for me, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I was just saying that, like, for me, it is important for people to know and understand those things. And I feel like I know the kind of world we're living in right now. And it's a shame to me that there are so many powerful influencers in the area of negativity and in the area of where they probably shouldn't be encouraged to go. And then when you have children and youth that want to do something that is not so negative, it might not be what people see as the American dream, but it is their dream, and they're not being encouraged to do that because it's not the American dream. But you're not going to take away from them the nuggets that are being dropped every day by people who are not necessarily pushing them in the right direction. So I feel like, stop trying to counteract the negative and just encourage the positive. Encourage them in where they're trying to go. Don't talk about the fact that, all these kids want to do is listen to this, that, and the other. It's just garbage. It's trash music. It's this, that, and the other. Yeah. Well, you want to encourage them in the area where you see them going, where you can see them prosper. And that's the area that they want to go in. I don't know. I have no other way of viewing that right now, because it's about it's this life. Every passion that we have, every ounce of passion that you have is there for a reason. You don't know, like that, the passion that I had to sing as a kid, it was there because one day I was going to stand before millions like I did on The Voice.
Right.
And I was going to sing before people and literally change hearts, change lives, change mindsets, shift thoughts, because I held on to a dream that I had at the age of 4.
Right.
And purpose, there's purpose behind your passion, and that's what I feel like people need to know. Everybody doesn't have the same walk of life or the same desires, and there's a reason for that. Right.
Before anyone else had an opinion, you had a purpose.
Absolutely. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, let's get into some of your music, so that people who have not had a chance to hear your voice yet can do so. I think now would be a good time to check out Good Thing. Want to do that?
Well, I was thinking if you don't mind. I was thinking
this is your world.
To start with the cover song, the Meek Mill remake song, and the reason why is because in this song I was inspired to rap on this song, and I know that everybody knows me as a singer, and like I said, I've committed myself most recently to showing the different colors of Soraya, and I feel like people can paint one story or one picture of you. There was a picture painted on The Voice. And but I feel like in order for people to get the real, you have to be genuine to who you are, and you have to be willing to tell your real story. And this is one part where I heard the song. Now, I could have formulated a song like where I'm singing to the same track, but I felt like no. I have also been one who has written poetry, spoken word, rap. I've done all of that, and it's all a part of art. And and so I feel like this is how I'm feeling this. I'm feeling it like this, in this form, and I'm tearing out the first page of my book on this song. It's talking about the very beginning for me and my family, and I was very excited and thrilled to share it in this form, in the form that people least expected from me. So that's the reason why I feel like, okay, well, let's show them this stuff first, and then we can get into the things that I've kind of been working on lately.
Cool. Perfect. All right, well then let's check it out. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to listen to Soraya, Heaven or Hell, and we will be right back in just a few minutes.
Yo, what's going on? This is your man's D2G, Eastside Chi-Town, Reflective Music's very own Petty Gang Chicago rep, and you're now tuned into the sounds to support the dope radio with my girl CB. That girl Carla Brown know how to get down, you heard? Tune in.
Yeah, I was saying that song was actually featuring Nunu Hughes, a good friend of mine. He's like a brother to me. He lended his gift on the song, on the hook of the song, and he did a really great, just dope job on it. So I was really excited about that.
Yeah, that was dope. And I mean, of course, everyone recognizes, that beat, just before anybody has to say anything on it. It's one of those most recognizable, like beats. So that was dope. I mean, do you want to touch on, because you also laid out a lot of your own story, in that song. Is there anything that you kind of want to like touch on a little bit?
Well, I mean, I pretty much, the song was pretty transparent. Mm-hmm. And it was pretty forthcoming about my story of my family. My mom, who was a drug addict for 20 plus years, and she actually came out of that addiction, thank God, and she started to serve in ministry. She's an ordained elder right now today, and she tells her story. She would stand on the mountaintop and tell it. And so when it was time for me to do this song, of course, everybody wanted to know, well, how does your mom feel about, about you telling this story. And my mom encouraged it. I'm telling you, she will bop her head right now to this song.